Summer Bear, Life Balance Education, and Salt Lake Community College present the Mockingjay Players in the Hunger Games Mockingjay radio drama. Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark's near-double suicide at the end of the 74th Hunger Games was interpreted as an act of rebellion. As a result, many districts began to rebel. During the quarter quell, in which past victors were reaped into the games, Katniss and a few others were rescued and transported to District 13. Peeta was not one of them. He is still missing. As Katniss takes stock of her new position in District 13, she is haunted by President Snow and his total destruction of 12.
Welcome, and today we have a special guest, the 74th Hunger Games victor and survivor of the quarter quell, Peeta Mellark. So, Peeta, welcome back.
I bet you thought you'd done your last interview with me, Caesar.
I confess I did. The night before the quarter quell, well, whoever thought we'd see you again?
It wasn't part of my plan, that's for sure.
I think it was clear to all of us what your plan was, to sacrifice yourself in the arena so that Katniss Everdeen and your child could survive.
Yeah, that was it. Clear and simple. But other people had plans too.
Why don't you talk about that last night in the arena? Help us sort out a few things.
That last night. Well, to tell you about that last night, first of all, you have to imagine how it felt in the arena. It was like being an insect trapped under a bowl filled with steaming hot air. All around you jungle, green and alive and ticking. That giant clock ticking away your life. Every hour promising some new horror. You have to imagine that in the past 2 days, 16 people have died, some of them defending you. At the rate things are going, the last 8 will be dead by morning, except one. And your plan is that it won't be you. Once you're in the arena, the rest of the world becomes distant. All the people and things you loved or cared about almost cease to exist. The pink sky and the monsters in the jungle and the tributes who want your blood, they become your final reality. The only one that ever mattered. And as bad as that makes you feel, you're gonna have to do some killing. Because in the arena, you only get one wish, and it's very costly.
It cost your life.
Oh no, it costs a lot more than your life. To murder innocent people, costs everything you are.
Everything you are.
So you hold on to your wish. And that last night, yes, my wish was to save her. But even without knowing about the rebels, it didn't feel right. Everything was too complicated. I found myself regretting that I hadn't run off earlier in the day, as she suggested. But there was no getting out of it at that point.
You were too caught up in Beatty's plan to electrify the Salt Lake.
Too busy playing allies with the others. I should never have let them separate us. That's when I lost her.
When you stayed at the tree, you mean, and she and Joanna Mason took the coil wire to the water?
I didn't want to. But I couldn't argue with BT, not without indicating we were about to break away from the Alliance. When that wire was cut, everything just went crazy. I can only remember bits and pieces now. Trying to find her, watching Brutus kill Chaff, killing Brutus myself. I know she was calling my name. And then the lightning bolt hit the tree and the force field around the arena blew out.
Katniss blew it out, Peeta. You've seen the footage.
She didn't know what she was doing. None of us could follow BT's plan. You can see her trying to figure out what to do with that wire.
Right. It just looks suspicious, as if she was part of the rebels' plan all along.
Really? And was it part of her plan for Joanna to nearly kill her? For that electric shock to paralyze her, to trigger the bombing? She didn't know, Caesar. Neither of us knew anything except that they were trying to keep each other alive.
Okay, Peeta. I believe you.
Okay.
What about your mentor, Hamish Abernathy?
I don't know what Hamish knew.
Could he have been part of the conspiracy?
He never mentioned it.
What does your heart tell you?
That I shouldn't have trusted him. That's all.
We can stop now if you want.
Was there more to discuss?
I was going to ask your thoughts on the war, but if you're too upset...
Oh no, I'm not too upset to answer that. I want everyone watching. Whether you're on the Capitol or the Rebels' side, just stop for a moment and think about what this war could mean. We almost went extinct fighting one another before, and now our numbers are even fewer. Our conditions are more fragile. Is this really what we want to do? Kill ourselves off completely? In hopes that, what? Someone decent will inherit the smoking remains of Earth?
I'm not following.
We can't fight one another, Caesar. There won't be enough of us left to keep going. If everyone doesn't lay down their weapons, and I mean very soon, it'll all be over.
So, you're calling for a ceasefire?
Yes, I'm calling for a ceasefire. Now why don't we ask the guards to take me back to my quarters so I can build another 100 card houses?
What happened, Gale? Your nose is bleeding.
I'd gotten Boggs away.
Which one is Boggs?
Oh, you know, President Coin's right-hand lackey in 13. He's the one who tried to stop you from leaving the command center after Peeta's interview.
You fought with Boggs?
No, just blocked the doorway when he tried to follow you. His elbow caught me in the nose.
They'll probably punish you.
Already have. Coin took away my communicuff. I'm no longer at her beck and call.
I'm sorry, Soldier Gale Hawthorne.
Don't be, Soldier Katniss Everdeen. I felt like a jerk walking around with it anyway. I think it was quite a demotion.
Who are these people?
They're us. If we had nukes instead of a few lumps of coal.
I'd like to think 12 wouldn't have abandoned the rest of the rebels back in the dark days.
We might have. If it was that, surrender or start a nuclear war. In a way, it's remarkable they survived it all.
Still, they took long enough.
It's not simple. They had to build a rebel base in the capital and get some sort of underground organization in the districts. Then they needed someone to start the whole thing in motion. They needed you.
They needed Peeta, too. But they seem to have forgotten that.
Peeta might have done a lot of damage tonight. Most of the rebels will dismiss what he said immediately, but there are those in the districts whose resistance is slacker. The ceasefire is clearly President Snow's idea, but it seems so reasonable coming out of Peeta's mouth.
Why do you think he said it?
He might have been tortured or persuaded. My guess is he made some kind of pact or deal to protect you. He would put forth an idea of a ceasefire if Snow allowed him to present you as a confused pregnant girl who had no idea what was going on when she was taken prisoner by the rebels. This way, if the districts lose, there's still a chance of leniency for you. He's still trying to keep you alive.
There can't be a ceasefire. We can't go back.
I know.
Whatever reasons Peeta had for saying those things, he's wrong. He doesn't know what they did to 12. If you could have seen what was on the ground.
Katniss, I'm not arguing. If I could hit a button and kill every living soul working for the Capitol, I would do it without hesitation. The question is, what are you going to do?
I'm going to be the Mockingjay.
Katniss, what's wrong?
Nothing. Just a bad dream. Go back to sleep, Prim.
You could tell me, you know. I'm good at keeping secrets, even from Mother.
Oh. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to agree to be the Mockingjay.
Because you want to, or because you feel forced into it?
Both, I guess. No, I want to. I have to. If it will help the rebels defeat Snow.
So then what's bothering you?
It's just Peeta. I'm afraid if we do win, the rebels will execute him as a traitor.
Katniss, I don't think you understand how important you are to the cause. Important people usually get what they want. If you want to keep Peeta safe from the rebels, you can.
You mean I could demand that they give Peeta immunity, and they'd have to agree to it?
I think you could demand almost anything and they'd have to agree. The only problem is, how do you know they'll keep their word?
It will have to be public. I'll make Coin announce it in front of the entire population of 13.
Oh, that's good. It's not a guarantee, but it will be much harder for them to back out of their promise.
I should wake you up more often, little duck.
I wish you would. Try and sleep now, all right?
Gale, you've really got to stop giving me your food. It's probably illegal or something. They won't even let you take any food out of the dining hall.
What can they do? They've already taken away my communicaf.
Hey, maybe I should make that a condition of being the Mockingjay.
What, that I can give you my food?
No, that we can hunt. We'd have to give everything to the kitchen, but still, we could.
Do it. Now's the time. You could ask for the moon, and they'd have to find a way to get it too.
What are you scheduled for?
Nuclear history class. Where, by the way, your absence has been noticed.
I have to go to the command. Come with me?
All right. But they might throw me out after yesterday.
President Coin, I'll be your Mockingjay.
Good.
But I have some conditions. I want to hunt with Gale, out in the woods.
We won't go far. We'd use our own bows, and you can have the meat we get for the kitchens.
It's just, I can't breathe shut up down here. Underground. I would get better, faster, if I could hunt.
But that will be dangerous. You could risk injury, and then there's extra security.
No, lent them. Give them 2 hours a day, deduct it from their training time. A quarter-mile radius with tracker anklets. What's next?
Gale. I need him to do this with me.
With you how? Off camera? By your side at all times? Do you want him presented as your new lover?
What?
I think we should continue the current romance. A quick defection from Peeta could cause the audience to lose sympathy for her, especially when they think she's pregnant with his child.
Agreed. So on screen, Gale can simply be portrayed as a fellow rebel. Is that all right, Katniss?
What?
For Gale, would that be sufficient?
We can always work him in as your cousin.
We're not
not
cousins.
Right. But we should probably keep that up for appearance's sake on camera. Off camera, he's all yours. Anything else?
When the war is over, if we've won, Peeta will be pardoned. No form of punishment will be inflicted. The same goes for the other captured tributes, Joanna and Enobaria.
No.
Yes, it's not their fault you abandoned them in the arena. Who knows what the Capitol's doing to them?
They'll be tried with other war criminals and treated as the tribunal sees fit.
They'll be granted immunity. You will personally pledge this in front of the entire population of District 13 and the remainder of 12. Soon. Today. It will be recorded for future generations. You will hold yourself and your government responsible for their safety, or you'll find yourself another Mockingjay.
That's her, right there with the costume, gunfire in the background, just a hint of smoke.
Yes, that's what we want. What do you say, President? You could issue an official pardon, given the circumstances. The boy, he's not even of age.
All right. But Katniss, you had better perform.
I'll perform when you've made the announcement.
Call a National Security Assembly during reflection today. I'll make the announcement then. Is there anything else left on your list, Katniss?
Just one more thing. I kill Snow.
When the time comes, I'll flip you for it.
Fair enough.
I'll leave you in your hands then, Plutarch.
Excellent, excellent. You know what I miss more than anything? Coffee. I ask you, would it be so unthinkable to wash down the gruel they serve?
We didn't think it would be quite so rigid here, not in the higher ranks.
You know in general what we're asking of you, Katniss. I'm aware you have mixed feelings about participating. I hope this helps.
What is it?
It's a sketchbook of your uniform.
Cinna.
I'm still betting on you.
Yes. She made me promise not to show you this book until you decided to be the Mockingjay on your own. Believe me, I was very tempted.
But when did she...
Let's see. Well after the quarter quell announcements. A few weeks back before the games, maybe? We have more than just a few sketches, though. Send in major uniforms, and we have them. Oh, and Beatty's got something really special waiting for you down in the armory. I won't spoil it by hinting.
You're going to be the best-dressed rebel in history.
Our plan is to launch an airtime assault, to make a series of what we call propos, which is short for propaganda spots, featuring you, and broadcasting them over the entire population of Panem.
How? The Capitol has sole control of the broadcasts.
But we have Beatty. About 10 years ago, he essentially redesigned the underground network that transmits all of the programming. He thinks there's a reasonable chance it can be done. Of course, we need something to air. So, Katniss, the studio waits your pleasure. Cressida, would you like to take over?
Plutarch and I have been talking about how we can pull this off. We think it might be best to build you, our rebel leader, from the outside in. That is to say, let's find the most stunning Mockingjay look possible, and then work your personality up to deserving it.
You already have her uniform.
Yes, but is she scarred and bloody? Is she glowing with the fire of rebellion? Just how grimy can we make her without disgusting people? At any rate, she has to be something. I mean, obviously, how she looks now won't cut it. So with that in mind, we have another little surprise for you. Come, come.
So well intended, and yet so insulting.
Welcome to the Capitol.
Let's see, it's compartment 3908. Ah, here we are.
Good morning. We are looking for...
You have the wrong floor.
Really? I've got 3908 written right here. I wonder if you could just give a call up to...
I'm afraid I have to ask you to leave now. Assignment discrepancies can be addressed at the head office.
Where's that again?
You'll find the head office on level 7.
Gale, what was that? I have to find out.
So sorry, man. Let me help you.
Oh my. It's my prep team.
Oh, what is that smell?
You are not authorized. You need to...
What happened, Venia?
They took us from the capital.
What on earth is going on here?
Who took you?
People, the night you broke out.
We thought it might be comforting for you to have your regular team. Sin requested it.
Cinna requested this? She would never have approved the abuse of these three. Why are they being treated like criminals?
I honestly don't know. I was told they were confined. Why are they being punished?
For stealing food. We had to restrain them after an altercation over some bread.
No one would tell us anything. We were so hungry. She only took one slice. I was hungry.
Octavia, it's going to be all right. I'll get you out of here, okay?
This seems a little bit extreme.
This is because they stole a slice of bread?
There were repeated infractions. They were warned. Still, they took more bread, and you can't take bread.
I'm taking them to my mother. Unchain them, now!
I have no release orders, and you have no authority to...
Do it in my authority. We came to collect these three anyway. They're needed for special defense. I'll take full responsibility.
Very well.
Mother! Help them!
Don't worry, Katniss. She'll fix them up.
I guess we've all been put on notice.
What do you mean?
Punishing my prep team's a warning. Not just to me, but to you too. About who's really in control and what happens if she's not obeyed. If you have any delusions about having power, I'd let them go now. Apparently a capital pedigree is no protection here. Maybe it's even a liability.
There is no comparison between Plutarch, who masterminded the rebel breakout, and those three beauticians.
If you say so, Cressida. But what would happen if you got on Coin's bad side? My prep team was kidnapped. They can at least hope to one day return to the capital. Gale and I can live in the woods, but you? Where would you run?
Perhaps we're a little more necessary to the war effort than you give us credit for.
Of course you are. The tributes were necessary to the games, too. Until they weren't. And then we were very disposable. Right, Plutarch?
They'll be all right. No permanent physical injuries.
Good. Splendid. How soon can they be put to work?
Probably tomorrow. You'll have to expect some emotional instability after what they've been through. They were particularly ill-prepared, coming from their life in the capital.
Weren't we all?
It feels so good to be out in the woods hunting. Almost like back home.
Katniss, why do you care so much about your prep team?
Why shouldn't I?
Let's see. Because they spent the last year prettying you up for the slaughter?
It's more complicated than that. I know them. They're not evil or cruel. They're not even smart. Hurting them is like hurting children. They don't see. I mean, they don't know.
They don't know what, Katniss? That tributes, the real children here, are forced to fight to the death? That you were going into the arena for people's amusement? Was that a big secret in the capital?
No, but they don't view it the way we do. They're raised on it, and...
Are you actually defending them?
I guess I'm defending anyone who's treated like that for taking a slice of bread. Maybe it reminds me too much of what happened to you over a turkey.
I'm not looking for a fight. But I don't think Coin is sending you some big message by punishing them for breaking the rules here. She probably thought you would see it as a favor. We better get going if we want to make it back in time.
During the quarter quell, Octavia and Flavius had to quit because they couldn't stop crying over me going back in, and Venia could barely say goodbye.
I'll try to keep that in mind as they remake you.
Do that. Hey, Finnick. Finnick! How are you doing?
Katniss, do you know why we're meeting here?
I told Coin I'd be her Mockingjay. But I made her promise to give the other tributes immunity if the rebels won. In public, so there were plenty of witnesses.
Oh, good. I worry that Annie might say something that could be construed as traitorous without knowing it.
Oh, no. I totally forgot her. Don't worry, I took care of it. I'll see you later, okay?
Okay, bye.
President Coin, I need to add Annie Cressida to the immunity list.
Who's that?
She's Finnick's, friend from District 4, another Victor. She was arrested and taken to the Capitol when the arena blew up.
Oh, the mad girl. That's not really necessary. We don't make a habit of punishing anyone that fro.
No? Then it shouldn't be a problem to add Annie.
All right. Do you want to be up here with me for the announcement?
Not really.
I didn't think so. Better hurry and go lose yourself in the crowd. I'm about ready to begin. Attention, people! Attention! We are happy to tell you that Katniss Everdeen has consented to be the Mockingjay. In return for her request, the other victors, Peeta, Joanna, and Enobaria, and Annie, will be granted full pardon for any damage they do to the rebel cause. But for this unprecedented request, Soldier Everdeen has promised to devote herself fully to our cause. It follows that any deviations from her mission, either in motive or deed, will be viewed as a break in this agreement. The immunity would be terminated, and the fate of the 4 victors determined by the law of District 13, as would her own.
In other words, I step out of line and we're all dead.
Katniss is now the Mockingjay. Will she be able to pull it off? Find out next time in Part 2 of the Hunger Games Mockingjay radio drama. Until then, may the odds be ever in your favor.